3, 2, 1. Hey, 40 hours. Welcome to my 1000th stream. I can't believe it, 1000 streams. Thank you guys so much for being with me on this journey. If you've watched me before, I really hope you've enjoyed them. If this is the first time you're watching me, this will be a crazy first impression, but I'm glad to have you here too. For this stream, I've set ads to the lowest setting I could, however, they might still appear. Consider subscribing or using a Prime to get rid of them. This stream will consist of two sections. First, I want to take you guys back in time and show you what an amazing journey this has been. After that, I'll host some events like normal. For this first section of the stream, all alerts will be paused, but if you do decide to sub or donate, I appreciate you a lot and I'll do my best to read them out in a bit. For now, enjoy the show. Even though this is the 1000th stream, that doesn't mean they were all daily. I started daily streaming on March 17, 2023. I did it on my event world that I made back when I helped Skeppy host events. Back then, I was experimenting with custom biomes, so that's why the grass looks magenta and the water green. For the first 64 streams, I kinda just streamed whatever I wanted. I would for example stream after a Skeppy event or something. This was still when Skeppy would host events on my server, so I obviously took advantage of that. Honestly, I had some pretty banger streams during this time with lots of players and just kinda crazy ideas. Even my makeup stream was before I did my daily streams, and I love that one. You're currently watching my 1000th stream, but what is my first? Well, let's go into the archives and see. So here I have my streams. Let's go into folder 1. My stream crashed a few times, so there's 3 files, but there you go, that's my first stream. Or is it? Stream 0. The first stream I ever did on Twitch. I didn't forget, I just chose to leave that one out. You see, Stream 0 isn't like the other ones. Let me take you back in time. In 2021 for my first Twitch stream, I had an idea. I bought some spicy peanuts and my idea was to eat them on stream. I called the stream Eating Nuts and Chilling. Before the stream, I set up my OBS and I recorded some tests. Test. Okay. After these tests, I went live. I didn't record the stream because I knew Twitch would save the VOD and after the stream I would download it. Now, as it turns out, I was wrong. Saving the VOD is a setting in Twitch you need to turn on. This was my first ever stream, so I didn't know that. And ever since, the VOD has been lost. Right after the stream, I started recording. I'm not sure if I was already aware of the disaster at this point, but it was already too late. My face was burning, my lips were hurting, and history had been erased. I ran downstairs in pain. Last thing I remember is being in the bathroom. I'm not sure if I was sitting on the floor in pain or had my head in the sink. The only record that's left of it is a recording of an empty room. In 2023 though, there was a sparkle of hope when I downloaded clips from my channel that were made during the stream. I'd hoped that somehow Twitch had saved the whole VOD, but it didn't look like it. To this day, unlike any of my other streams, this stream is lost media, never to be seen again. Now, if you were one of the people who was in that stream and you happen to be recording, please get in touch. But wait a second, that's just my first Twitch stream. I've streamed on YouTube before too, what about that? And yeah, I've done some streams on YouTube. Now, there are some private stream tests that I've done in 2015, but my first actual stream was in 2016. I was 14 years old and there was going to be a Skywars tournament on Munchie MC.
Oh yeah, I think I'm live. Okay, so, hello. Let me switch to good. Oh wait, no. Okay.
Oh, my videos are not loading.
User joined your channel.
Hello, user.
You might even recognize some familiar faces here. Funnily enough, a while ago I went to YouTube and downloaded my data. To my surprise, they actually gave me the original stream back. And when I say original, I mean it. This is the data that came straight out of my OBS in 2016. No YouTube compression or anything. Literally just the raw RTMP output. If you're curious, by the way, I'm planning on releasing this stream on March 19, 2026 when it turns 10 years old. That will also be 2 days after my 3-year daily streaming anniversary. So to answer the question, what was my first stream? I think it's that one. Thanks, YouTube. From stream 64 and onward, I started daily streaming. I started daily streaming out of fear. Literally, that was the main reason I started. Let me explain. In In September of 2022, I worked for Crackly on Las Nevadas. He liked what I did and he wanted me to edit more. However, I was still young and instead of just a fun favor, it started to sound more like a job interview. I was already doing some YouTube and streams for myself, so I didn't want to be shoved in the background busy all day working for someone else. The conversations got very formal and I kinda didn't really know what to do. While these conversations and negotiations were happening, I would dread looking at my phone or Discord. So my incredibly stupid plan was to just stream. If I'm streaming, I'm busy, so I have an excuse not to check my messages. By the way, just to be clear, they weren't rude or anything, it just stressed me out. Now, obviously, I think in the back of my head, I probably already had some plans to do daily streams, but I really think this is what gave me the push. I don't know if I could have started on my own. I never wanted to be too strict with the daily streams. For the first few daily streams, I actually didn't even know that I was streaming daily. It was after I'd already done a few streams that I was like, oh, well, I'm pretty much going now. Let's just keep going. And now we're here. In May of 2023, I wanted to try something new. I'd been daily streaming for about 2 months, but one day I was going to be visiting my grandma. If you've ever been to my streams, you might know that the way that I work with time zones is a bit strange. I usually try to stream in the evening or at night. My audience is mostly American, so it results in the most amount of viewers for me. However, for me, this isn't really an optimal time because, you know, it's at night. But it does have an upside. During the day, I'm pretty much free. So trips to school or to my grandma never really clash with when I want to stream. But then I had an idea. Why don't I try an IRL stream when I'm there? I didn't really have the equipment for it, but I figured all you really need to stream is a computer, internet, and a camera, so I took my laptop and my camera and I started streaming and walking around. Me playing Minecraft should be just chatting around. No, I changed it. I think I changed it. Did it not save? Edit stream info. I can do it on my phone. Oh yeah, I'm just using shaders. Save. Yeah, thank you. Give first person you see a doll. I don't have cash on me. I legit don't have cash on me. So I want to go to a bar. Oh my god, there are a lot of people there. No, okay, now it's all good. So yeah, I'm like connected to 4G. So if I lag out, just tell me. It's possible. I'm just gonna keep my laptop in my bag this time, because honestly, looking at my laptop screen, I don't think it changed anything. So yeah. This also won't be a long stream probably because I don't think I have that much battery. I was sitting on grass. I was actually touching grass. Here, look, I'm touching grass. Now, I know I could have also used my phone. It would have been way easier, but phone cameras kinda suck. By no means are my quality requirements for my stream high, but there's one thing that I'm very passionate about, and that is 60 FPS. Resolution I don't really care about, but I want my stream to be 60 FPS. My phone selfie camera only goes up to 30, and I just don't think it looks that good. Also, another reason why I don't want to use my phone is that bringing my cameras is a bit of a technical challenge, which I really like. Plus, I've spent all this money on these cameras, so I kinda want to use them. So, like I said, I took my camera and walked around. While it was a bit awkward, it was really fun. This was my first ever IRL stream, although admittedly I have been known to turn my camera on in Discord calls when I'm out and about. That's where this amazing picture is from. But I digress. There were some major flaws with my setup though. First off, my laptop doesn't really like 1080p 60 streams. It will work, but frames get dropped. So for most of the stream, I lowered it to 720p 60. Then there's my data plan, which is quote unquote unlimited, but if you go over 10 gigs in a day, you have to manually request more, which is really annoying. But the worst part was the battery. I know my camera can do about 2 hours, but my laptop, I have no clue. I did notice it was going down pretty fast, so I went back to my grandma's house to charge it, all while still being live. Now, I don't want to flex, but does your grandma have a frog room? My grandma has been collecting frogs for years, and in her house she has what we call the kikkerkamer, or the frog room in English. Obviously I had to finish the stream in there. I sat down with her recently and asked her about the frogs. Wanneer ben je begonnen met verzamelen?
Nou, toen mijn dochter klein was, want die heet Rana. En Rana is kikker in het Latijn. Dus het eerste wat ze kreeg was kikkertjes. En toen kreeg ze nog een kikker en nog een kikker en nog een kikker. En toen ben ik ze maar gaan verzamelen, dat vond ik leuk.
Dus dat was meer als cadeautjes, waren ze bedoeld?
Ja, het begon dus met een cadeautje.
Hoeveel kikkers denk je dat je hebt?
Ik heb ze ooit geteld. En volgens mij heb ik hier een boek liggen, maar dat weet ik niet zeker.
Oh, waar het in staat? Oké.
Dat zijn een paar duizend. Maar ik weet zelf niet meer wat er precies in zit. Hallo medeverzamelaar, hierbij zend ik je 2 kikkers toe. Ik hoop dat je ze nog niet hebt. Verder veel verzamelplezier.
Maar dus een precies nummer weet je niet?
Nee, ik heb ze ooit geteld, maar dat is alweer een hele tijd geleden. En waar ik dat gelaten heb, dat weet ik natuurlijk niet.
Nee, dat snap ik. Heb je favorieten?
Er zitten er wel een paar bij die ik erg mooi vind.
Heb je er eentje die je nu ziet of zo, die echt zo...
Ja,
echt
glazen
heel leuk
bijvoorbeeld die daar zitten.
Welke?
Daar zitten een paar hele mooie bij. Kijk, deze vind ik mooi.
Ik vind ze zelf, heel eerlijk gezegd, ik ben niet zo van het glas, denk ik. En ik vind de kleurrijke vind ik juist heel mooi.
Oh, er zitten ook mooie bij. Maar ik vind deze glas vind ik ook wel heel mooi.
Als iemand dit nou op internet zou zien, wat hoop je dan dat ze denken?
Nou, ik denk het leuk zou vinden als ze zeiden van dat vind ik een leuke verzameling. En misschien willen ze ze wel hebben, want ik zal ze zelf niet zo lang meer hebben.
Ja, dat is wel een probleem waar ze naartoe gaan ooit.
Ja.
Ik zou ze zelf, ik wil eigenlijk echt dat dit gewoon allemaal bij elkaar blijft, maar dat is natuurlijk wel lastig.
Ja.
Maar ik ben heel erg van het archiveren en zo. En daar gaat ook bij mijn 1000 streams over. Die heb ik allemaal gearchiveerd en dat vind ik heel belangrijk.
Ja.
Dus, if anyone has any ideas on what to do with the frogs, or maybe even offers, feel free to let me know. By the way, while most of the frogs are in the frog room, she also has a lot in other places around the house. One thing I quite like is that while she does have an insane amount of frogs, they never seem to be a hindrance. She seems to have a place for all of them, and they never really get in your way. Now the same cannot be said about her tortoise, who loves to follow you around and bite your toes. Now, when I started daily streaming, it was pretty easy. Just go live every day, how hard can it be? And in reality, it wasn't really that hard. But the real world is chaotic, and things can change. The first ever quote-unquote obstacle that I ran into was when me and my family went to Belgium. Now, this was pretty soon after I did my first IRL stream, so I thought it was going to be doable. I knew that hosting events or whatever was going to suck on a laptop, so I made another plan. Let's play Minecraft Beta. I love old Minecraft, and since it's also pretty lightweight, I thought it was a great idea. Now, it was a great idea in theory, but in practice, nah, that shit sucked. It turns out the internet in Belgium was absolutely atrocious. The Wi-Fi was too bad, so I had to rely on 4G. Remember the 10 gig limit that I talked about? Outside of the Netherlands, that luckily doesn't apply. Instead though, there was a total monthly limit of 27 gigs. This is definitely a bit more convenient, but considering how much data I used in my first IRL stream, I was also incredibly concerned. I was going to stay in Belgium for a couple of days, so I might just completely run out. But okay, I'll try to work with it. Like I said, resolution I don't really care about, so I set the stream resolution to 480p to save data. Now it turns out the internet was so bad that the 27 gig limit wasn't even an issue because I couldn't reach it. The internet was too slow for me to reach it. Also, as you can probably tell, I'm in a car. I didn't want to bother my family with my stream, so I decided to stream from the car. This was an ergonomic nightmare. You know what, you can just see for yourself, I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
Wait, dude, can you stop? Oh well, I just instantly died. Stop killing me, please.
Also, I must have mentally blocked this out or something because when I went back to look at the Belgian VODs, I noticed that the VODs for the second stream and onward are all 30 FPS. I have no memory of setting it to that, but I guess my situation was so desperate that I had to stoop that low. So yeah, long story short, this sucked. But I made it through. At least it would teach me a lesson that might come in handy later. The best time I've ever had, not just in streaming, but in my life, was August 2023. Me and my family went on vacation to Switzerland. Pretty much the whole month before this, I had been incredibly stressed about this vacation. I was doing these daily streams, but I wasn't sure if I could continue doing them there. I was already so far in on my daily streams, so it would be such a letdown having to stop. While the mountains in Switzerland are beautiful, in my mind it didn't compare to the journey that I was on. I didn't know where this journey was going to lead yet, but I did know that stopping would ruin this vacation for me. Also, Skeppy had planned a YouTube event right in the middle of the vacation. I really didn't want to miss that. I wasn't going to make the same mistake I made in Belgium again. So I decided to bring my whole computer. The internet isn't something that I can fix, but I figured that if I can make everything else perfect, I had more of a chance to make something good come out of it. And it actually did. Even though Switzerland is in the mountains, so infrastructure can't be easy for them, they actually have their shit together. The internet was amazing, actually way better than my internet at home. I played the YouTube event and I did my streams completely as normal. And then while I wasn't live, I got to experience the beauty of Switzerland. Best vacation ever. However, all good things come to an end. After I returned home, I was invited to record a video with Skeppy and Bad Boy Halo. Suddenly during the recording, my PC started acting up and froze. After that, it wouldn't turn on for a while unless I took out the RAM stick. Long story short, the computer was broken. This sucked. If I can't turn on my computer, I can't stream. Was my streak finally over? No, of course not. I took my laptop and I set the resolution to 480p, plugged in my camera, and I did a very short stream. Bro broke his computer. I'm actually not on my computer right now. I'm on my laptop. So yeah, it's actually broken. Also, it does seem to be lagging a little bit. How's the quality? I'm finna go to bed. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't want to stream this late, but my computer is legit. It's on the floor right now. It's broke. It's over. That counts, right? I think it does. I asked HPF if he could stream for me. While I was doing my short stream, he was preparing his OBS to set up his stream. And then he went live on my channel right after me, and I sat there in the Discord call. It was actually pretty fun. You don't have to start in my server, by the way. You can do what you want.
Hello.
Oh my god, I
to
hear
my
myself.
stream.
Hello, everyone.
Uh,
This is HPF stream.
this is my channel now.
Let leave, by the way. Only if he wants to.
You're forced to stay, actually. We're going to start off on PDL server.
I can't launch Minecraft. Now, I did still have a broken computer, so I had to buy a new one. Like I briefly mentioned earlier, I did figure out that by taking out one of the RAM sticks and putting it back in, it would boot sometimes, so I kept using my old PC for a bit, but I had to build a new one. And I did it on stream.
Okay, do you know what? I'm just gonna hold my camera with my feet. Shit, can I? No, okay, yeah. Here you go, here you go, here you go. Yes. Okay, I'm holding my camera with my feet. Let me read the manual. Okay. It's this side. Okay, let me open the camera on my phone. That way you can see. This is how I'm holding the camera. Oh, and Ash is in the background. Look at me.
Now, it might seem like I was having fun, but this ended up taking about 3 hours and it was incredibly exhausting and stressful. In the end though, I got it set up and boy, what a difference it makes. My old PC was from 2014 and I knew it wasn't fast anymore, but most things still work, so I thought it was fine. But my new PC was so much faster, it was a whole new world. All these things combined are what makes August 2023 so special for me. Almost everything just went right, and when it didn't, it ended up leading to an even better outcome. Now, up until this point, 2023 had been an amazing year for me. But suddenly, near the end, my cat and best friend Ash got sick. I don't want to dwell on this for too long, but he ended up passing away. This hurt me a lot. Now, apart from all the normal drama that comes with losing a loved one, that day I had a pretty difficult decision to make. Do I keep streaming? I decided to do it, because I didn't want his death to affect anything more than it already did. Did I make the right choice? I think I did, but more on that later. In 2024, I went to TwitchCon for the first time. I met up with Jake and Jintas, and we had a good time. For most of the stream, Jake would hold the camera and film me as we were just walking around. I didn't get to meet any big streamers, but I did end up walking past the Twitch CEO. If only he'd read my shirt. Also, we went to MCC, and I streamed pretty much the whole event.
Much of an introduction.
During the event, I think Jake went back to get some food or something, and then he noticed that at the door there was a sign that said we couldn't stream in there. Looking back at the footage now, yeah, whoops, I completely missed that. My bad. In 2025, I went to TwitchCon again. This time I was a little bit more prepared, so I signed up for some meet and greets. I was there with Jintas again, Jake wasn't there this time. It was a pretty fun experience. I got to meet some pretty cool people. Hey, I even got to meet the Twitch CEO this time. He still didn't read my shirt though. I met Jacksucks live on the first day during my stream. And on the second day, I met Smallish Beans and LD Shadow Lady on the metro. And then just after I arrived, I also met Dark Viper AU while he was streaming.
Hello.
The advantages of a broken escalator, right?
Can I get a picture?
Absolutely, man.
I was thinking about doing the meet and greet, and then I saw your post on Blue Sky where you were like, this might be your last chance. And then I was like, oh shit, I need to do that. And then the time was up, so I was like...
And it's full, yeah. I like it may actually be possible that it was full before I messaged out and told people to sign up. I hope that wasn't the case, because I feel really
I
bad.
think it's like a lottery, but I'm not sure.
Oh, possibly. I mean, well, it got full at some point, so... I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Hello.
Wait, who's this dude?
No, he's Springer.
I'm no one. Don't worry about it, man.
GTA, yeah.
So what's your name say? Backup. Nice to meet you. PDO Backup.
Yeah.
Turn the background. I want to see your username.
Oh, sure, of course.
Hey, you.
I've heard of the name.
Yeah, I do get around in you know, sex offender watch list, terrorist watch list, and all that stuff. You know,
okay.
of course.
Witness protection.
In witness protection, of course. Yeah, I've done some things. Yeah, so all good. Thank you. So you're not going to meet up, I guess. And, you know, nice meeting you, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I also met Office Drummer, who I didn't know at the time, but I recently saw him in Guys Nat's Mafia-thon, which is crazy. But yeah, that was pretty fun. Also, I was invited to an MCC after party, and there were a lot of YouTubers there. I didn't talk to anyone, but it was cool seeing everyone just hanging out so casually. Now, I don't know if this is going to make it into my stream, because obviously on an anniversary like this, I want to keep things positive, but in 1,000 streams, a lot can happen. Like I probably just mentioned, I don't know, I haven't written the script for the Ash part yet, but when Ash passed away, I still streamed. In hindsight, I'm still happy that I did that. I don't really go back to watch the stream that I did that day, but I'm incredibly glad that it exists. And even after that, I never stopped daily streaming. I'm still very proud of that, especially soon after Ash's death, but even recently, I would go to his grave and say something like, I'm still going. I'm still happy that I kept going, but sometimes when I look back at old recordings or something, I see that I definitely wasn't alright. I don't know if any of that showed in my streams. I think I'm pretty good at going into like a mental streaming mode, but honestly, it might be a good thing if it shows, because like I've said in the past, I kind of treat my streams like a diary. Pretty much the whole year of 2024 sucked. Well, actually, it was fine. Just in comparison to 2023, it was a huge downgrade. I was still dealing with Ash's passing, but other things started to come up too. There was some major internal drama in the staff team, which led to me losing staff members and a plugin which had games like Blockshelf and Freeztag. During 2024 and even at the start of 2025, my motivation was surprisingly still alright. But nowadays, it really isn't anymore, and I feel completely burned out. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because while it seems pretty fun to do a stream every day, I don't even stream for that long. But you don't see the full picture. Like I said, after Ash passed away, I tell him I'm still going. If Ash's death won't make me stop, nothing can. But therein lies the issue. What if I do eventually want to stop? Am I letting Ash down? I've purposely kept streaming during some very nasty drama coming my way. I didn't feel good at all, but the last thing I do is let them get the satisfaction of bringing me down. I made it through, and I'm going to be ending this the way that I want on my own terms. Fuck you. Thank you guys so much for being with me on this journey. 1,000 streams is just crazy. I really hope you enjoyed this. I spent a lot of time working on this. But now boot up your game and get on my server. Let's do some events. I'll see you in a bit.